When you first joined VATSIM, the first thing you probably did was become a virtual pilot, and that's probably because it's easy to do. All you need to do is read a few things and do well on one test. But to become a virtual air traffic controller on the network, a lot more hard work, effort and studying is needed. First of all, I'd like to say that if you've just joined the VATSIM network and are looking to become a virtual air traffic controller, if you haven't got any real world experience, I'd recommend becoming a virtual pilot first, because the phraseology used may be confusing for you. Also, because I'm from the UK, this video will be based on the training for VATSIM UK, however it's roughly the same worldwide, so it doesn't really matter where you are. If you're already a virtual pilot on VATSIM, you'll probably remember doing this new member orientation test. As you can see, I only got 80%, but I still passed, just showing that it's quite simple to become a VATSIM pilot. However, the training to become air traffic control is a lot more strenuous. Firstly, at the time of recording, there are long waiting times to begin ATC training in the UK. But don't click off, because you can still start your training now and be ahead of everyone else when it comes to having an instructor with you. I know some people won't like the fact they need to be under the control of an instructor, but you only have to do it 2 to 3 times. The rest is all down to you, and you can do it whenever you want. So here we are now on the VATSIM UK website. However, if you're not from the UK, you might want to look up something else, like maybe VAT USA. And you can go on that and you can do the same thing over here of what I'm doing on VATSIM UK. It's basically exactly the same. So once you've signed up to the VATSIM UK website or your VATSIM region, you're going to need to join that region. It's quite simple. You can follow the instructions. It basically just tells you that when you sign up. And then you'll be greeted with this standard page, which happens when you load on to the VATSIM UK website. From here, go to controllers and then become a controller. As you can see, as I said, there's currently long waiting times to begin training. However, you can still start some of the training now. First of all, you're going to need the software. So for this, you're going to need Euroscope and the UK controller pack. You're also going to need TeamSpeak, which is quite simple to install. You can just click this here. If you use the middle mouse button, like the scroll wheel, and you press that in, it will open it in a new tab. You can see everything here about TeamSpeak, all the rules and things, the rooms guide, and you can also download the software, and then you need to register yourself for the VATSIM TeamSpeak kind of rooms, which is quite simple to do. Also, if you want to know how to set up Euroscope and the UK controller pack and everything, I made a video on that. I'll put it up in the top right now. Then we get this little sheet here which tells us basically how the training works. First thing you need to do is join the new controller training group, and you can basically, what that means is you need to sign up for a group session. So you can do that here, click this and it will open a new tab. You can proceed to single sign on, and then under the seminar section, then you'll need to attend the Observer Part 1 group session. They'll go through different things about Euroscope and how to control around different aerodromes in the UK. Also, in that group session, they'll give you a training aerodrome where you'll be doing all of your training until your S1 exam down here. The aerodrome you can be given is one of these 4, so you've got either Stansted, Manchester, Edinburgh or East Midlands. So let's say you're given Manchester. After you've completed the Moodle theory, which you're going to do after the group session, which you can also do now. That's what we're going to be mainly focusing on. After you completed that and the exam, you can then go on to the specifics Moodle course for that aerodrome. So Stansted, Manchester, Edinburgh, East Midlands. Then once you've completed that Moodle course, you'll get a ticket to the ATC training, and then you do a one-on-one mentoring. So that's probably about 2 or 3 sessions on that aerodrome. You'll be controlling, and there'll be the mentor there kind of helping you out. Then you'll do the S1 exam, and then if you wish to control at Gatwick, you need to do an additional Gatwick endorsement due to the high levels of traffic there. So the main thing you can start doing now, due to the long waiting times, is you can start doing the S1 Aerodrome Control Moodle Theory course and the exam. So if you scroll down a bit more, you can see theory training here, and then you can see the Moodle platform. So if you click on that, open a new tab, you can then sign in, and you'll be welcomed to the e-learning portal. So then you click S1, and you click the top one. These other ones here are for your training aerodrome, so depending on what one you've given, depends on what one you do. But everyone has to do this one, and you can do this one now before attending the group session. So clicking on this, you'll then be taken to this screen here, and you'll be given all of these that you'll need to go through and kind of complete. At the end of every section, there's a test or a quiz, basically. And once you've done all of them, then you'll do the S1 theory examination, which you can do on the CTS. So this is quite simple to do. What you have to do is click on this, introduction, and then it will start bringing you through all of this. You can read it, click next, and then you get test questions. This is just the introduction. It's showing you how it works. So this is an incorrect answer, and if you click this and then click submit, it will return you to this page when you click go. So you can read it again, and then you click on it, and then you can click the correct answer, and then that's basically how it works. Quite simple. And then once you've completed it, you'll get a little tick box there. These ones don't have tick boxes because they're not actually lessons, they're just things you need to read. And then you start actually doing the actual courses, which you will get tick marks on. After you've done that, you've then completed this Moodle theory course and the CTS exam, meaning you kind of skipped a step there and you've missed out the group session, but that's fine because that's the next thing you now need to do, because obviously you can't do this without being given a training aerodrome. So to attend a group session, basically you need to sign up in the CTS, which I just showed you how to do a second ago, but also that will take a long time, as you can see. So if you want to get your shot at trying to get into a group session earlier, there is something you can do. So going back over to the seminar section of the CTS, or just the CTS in general, click on this little students thing here, and then if we go down, we can see bookings calendar. If we click on that, we can see everything booked on VATSIM UK this month. Basically, if we go into the next month, there's not going to be anything there yet, but we can see what's happening this month. So it's quite a simple thing. Everything on here that's green is a position booking. So that means that between 5 o'clock and 8 o'clock Zulu, there's going to be ground on Echo and Golf Bravo Bravo. I believe that's Birmingham. So you can book different things there so people can see where they should fly to if they're flying, or where they should control. There's going to be other controllers there. The purple ones are mentoring sessions, so that could be someone that's training under this. So for Gatwick, there's a mentoring session. There's also the Observer Part 2 session. And you might now be able to get where I'm going with this. If you have a look on here, I believe the one for August might have been on the 1st, so I have already missed it. However, you can go through here and you can have a look for ones that say OBS at the start, which means Observer. Then you want to look for underscore Part 1, not Part 2. You can't attend Part 2 without attending Part 1. Obviously, currently, you can't see any of them here. You can see some observers, but they're not Part 1. But if you see one of them, that's Part 1. Basically what you can do then is log on to TeamSpeak at the time that the session should be taking place. So, for this one, imagine this was Part 1. It's between 6 o'clock and 7:30 Zulu time. So if you're in the UK, which if you're doing the UK VATSIM, and if you're in the UK division, then probably you're in the UK. During the summertime, Zulu is 1 hour behind, so this will be actually 7 o'clock until 8:30 local time in the UK during the summer. So during that time, just before 7 o'clock, then maybe like 1:45, you want to load onto TeamSpeak and just sit in a room. Once you see some of the mentors coming on, you can then message them and say if there's any free spaces, can they let you in? So, not many people do this. And it is a good way because quite a lot of the time people don't show up to their sessions, so they will just see if anyone else is waiting, and they might invite them into the session, and therefore you basically skip the wait time. Also, just to point out, once you're given a training aerodrome, you're not then kind of stuck to that forever. Once you've completed your exam, your S1 exam, you can control anywhere in the UK other than Gatwick and Heathrow due to traffic. So that's how you become a virtual air traffic controller on the VATSIM network. As I said, this is done on VATSIM UK, however, it will be roughly the same everywhere else. If anything, it might be easier because of the waiting times. It'll probably be easier in other divisions. So if you did like this video, please do subscribe, leave a like down below, and YouTube thinks you'll like this video next, so why don't you go give it a watch. Also, go check out my Twitch, first link in the description. Bye bye.